Welcome to the Real Deals Real Estate Podcast, where you'll learn about buying and selling homes and how to invest in real estate. Now, here's your host, Donald Torrance of JAVE Real Estate.
Good day, everybody. We back at you with another episode. My name is Donald Torrance. I actually been investing since '95. I mostly focus in Illinois and Northwest Indiana. Joined with Cynthia. You want to tell them who you are and how and what your introduce
Hi.
yourself?
Okay, my name is Cynthia Ware. I'm also known as Dr. Ware in internal medicine. And I'm retired. And so, but I got into medicine, not medicine, I got into real estate by just having some friends suggest to me to bid on a house. Go get the list of houses in Detroit that's for sale. And they were selling for $1, $2, $100. And I bid on this house for $6,001. Didn't go inside of it, but they called me up when I was working. I was working at General Motors, and they said, "You wanted to bid?" I wanted to bid. Okay, what I do next? Come get your key. And that's how I got into real estate. Really not appreciating that space until probably 13, 14 years later. I was just a kid. That's it. And I loved it after we rehabbed it. I loved that whole process of taking something ugly and beautifying it. All right, Natasha, you up?
Hello, everyone. My name is Natasha Woolery. I'm also in medicine. I still work. I'm a physical therapist. That's what I do full time. And my husband and I started our real estate investing journey back in 2012. I obtained my real estate license, and I'm still a licensed realtor here in Texas. But we started with the fix and flip platform. Did some wholesaling too. We had that real estate bug, and we kept doing that and doing that. Then we bought some land, and we used a 1031 exchange. We bought some single family homes, and now we have diversified into multifamily. So started back in 2012, so been doing it for a little bit of time, but you're right, Cynthia, once you kind of get hooked into it, it's like a bug. You just can't get rid of it.
So, Natasha, the focus is going to be on you today. We want to hear a little bit about how you got your first deal, what got you started, and what made real estate be that focal point for you to get started in.
Yeah, so the focus of real estate was really for my husband. He was in law enforcement. He just retired recently, but he had always wanted to do something in real estate. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad way back when he was like in middle school or whatever, and decided, hey, I think I really could do that. So we actually found a property here in Texas that we had wanted to get and wanted to close on, but we were bickering over the numbers, and it really ended up being like $2,000. So we ended up foregoing on that property, which we kick ourselves because it's on Reindeer Lane, which is the name of the street, and it's here in the town that we live in. And the person that bought it steam cleaned the carpets and listed it for $50,000 more and sold it.
Oh, wow.
So we were bickering over $2,000, and that was our first lesson learned the hard way. Is like $2,000 isn't that big of a deal when you're buying a house. Like you need to just do it, take action, and you can figure out all of the details. It took me quite a bit longer to really have that mindset. My husband was gung-ho, let's go. But we bought a property in Arlington, Texas on Hot Springs. I remember the street name. We did that. We did a great job. It had a garage conversion, and we left it that way. Lesson learned on that one, the people that come through to buy the house, they wish that it had a garage, and we could have spent the money to take it back. They weren't really concerned about the bedroom count. So, you got to know your market and know the area and everything. So we started slow doing the fix and flips and everything. And, I was along for the ride. I had my license, so I could have access to MLS. I would, show clients the houses. I would take my husband in as the contractor and investor and show them properties that way. So that was our first little taste of it. And that was back in 2012.
Okay. And after you did the ones that you did, what catapulted you to keep moving forward? Was it just that one deal, are the couple of little things that you did that you saw how you can tweak it and make it better?
Well, each deal you learn something, that's for
Mhm.
sure. You might lose money, you might break even, you might even make money if you're lucky. And
Right.
just know that you learn from each experience. So we did several houses here in Texas, and then my mom is actually originally from Maine. So we actually bought some properties in Maine and flipped them.
Oh.
So my husband went up and spent a month up in Maine to flip the house to help the
Nice.
contractors up
Hmm.
there. Yeah, I actually, my current job that I have now, when I started it one day after returning for 3 days being up there in Maine helping him. I landed,
Oh.
my flight was delayed, didn't get in till like 2 in the morning, woke up at 6 a.m. and worked for 14 hours straight helping with the
Oh,
rehabbing.
wow.
But we're very hands-on. We love doing things,
Nice.
making things better.
Hmm.
So, Cynthia, being in healthcare, you want to help people. So we're helping the people that will be living here. We're helping the communities to make them better. There's some dilapidated houses that they haven't had any love in a while, and we can put
Had a
love
long
back into it
time.
to make it
Yes.
better. Yeah, and make the community better. And so we were doing that. And then here in Texas, the market kind of shifted. We couldn't find properties that met our buy box. My
Okay.
husband said, I'm kind of into this contractor world. We've got all these subs. Why don't I just do contracting? So he was doing that
Mm.
while he was in law enforcement. So he would help people remodel their own homes.
Okay.
And so we're doing that for a while. And then he's like, I should be doing something better. We should be doing something better. We had bought some land in Oklahoma and we ended up selling it in a 1031 exchange. And we took a big leap and we bought 23 single family homes, half in Missouri, half in Georgia, sight unseen. So,
Oh,
Cynthia,
wow.
very similar to your story, too. We had two great real estate agents that would use FaceTime and walk us through the properties, but we got into the long term rental space. Our buy
Mm.
box was a certain price range, but we had to have a tenant in place because we wanted to cash flow day one.
Okay.
So we acquired those and we had 23 single family homes and we were happy with that for a little bit.
Okay.
And then, you cycle through that bug, that itch, something, I
Yes.
got to do
Yes.
Mm.
something bigger and better, right?
So,
So,
so you guys bought those properties sight unseen. With buying them sight unseen, not knowing, because you guys had tenants in place, not knowing the tenant structure, how did you guys handle that, and who managed it for you?
Yeah, so for our property in Georgia, all the properties that we have in Georgia, we found one property. It was listed by a real estate agent, and her company does property management as well. She was fantastic. She would FaceTime us and she would walk through the property, and then it got to the point, it's like, no, we trust you. If you find a
Mm.
property and you think that it's good, you walk it, you send us the video and let us know. Because
nice.
basically it was down to the smell test. Did it smell
Okay.
like smoke? Did it smell like cats? If it smelled like anything, it was a no-go. And
Okay.
what did it look like? Because when you're touring the home and there's a tenant in place, you can tell if they're taking care of the property.
Right.
Yes.
So we still have all of those properties in Georgia right now, and it really is relying on a great property management company, a great real estate agent that can help you to buy that. Um, and with a 1031 exchange, for those that are listening that don't know, you have 180 days for the whole process. You have to identify the property or properties within 45 days, and then you have another 135 days to close. And if it
Mm.
doesn't happen in that time frame, then you can't use the money in a 1031 exchange.
Mm.
So we found and closed on all 23 properties in 17 different transactions in 52 days.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That was
So
that
we
was
did
some
it way
quick
faster
movement.
than what we need to. Yeah, because when you got the cash, people are excited to have you close, but we had inspections done. We negotiated down prices. We did all of the virtual closings. So they all had different closing dates. And I travel for work. I train staff across the country. So I would get
Okay.
back to the hotel room and I would read through all the contracts. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, this is wrong. And I have to message the agent, hey, this is incorrect. We need to do this. And I told my husband, don't sign it yet. We got to get this corrected.
Mm.
So it was definitely stressful to do that, but it was a wild ride and we were able to do that.
Okay.
Now, the other half of our portfolio, we did have a great real estate agent in St. Louis and she helped us. And we went through a couple of property management companies. We've kind of struggled with that area, and that's why we've sold off all but one. We're still in the process of selling our last one there in St. Louis. So we have
It-
offloaded that.
yeah,
I
and
got a
St.
question.
Louis is a tough market too. So
It is, yeah.
so
I got a
um
question.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so the one that when you guys went and purchased in St. Louis, what year was that? Because the market has
Uh,
just been going up and down, and I'm gonna just say
it was,
congratulations to your success.
yeah, it was 22.
Okay.
Oh, not long ago.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
so so that was a big ch jump to 23. All single families, or was some of them multifamily?
There were four
Oh,
duplexes.
okay.
And that's
Oh,
not
okay.
technically multifamily. What we
Yeah.
do now is multifamily. We invest in apartment complexes.
Okay. Um,
Nice.
and the smallest multifamily you guys have? When I say multifamily, I'm talking 5 units or more.
Our smallest multifamily is 63 doors,
Oh, okay.
Nice.
and our
Okay.
largest is 325.
Mm.
So with you guys taking on larger complex, did you guys seek some kind of training or coaching, or
Yeah.
what was the movement to actually help you guys be comfortable enough to catapult into a larger portfolio?
Yeah, so that's the next phase in our real estate journey. So, that little itch, it's not a 7 year itch. It was like, I don't know, maybe like a 2 year or not even a year. But my
Hmm.
husband's like, this is great. This is awesome. But I feel like we should be doing something bigger. He
Hmm.
wanted to get a life coach or somebody to help him in real estate. So, really like a real estate coach. So,
Okay.
he discovered Grant Cardone. I didn't know who he was. And we joined up with Grant Cardone's 10X community.
Oh,
So, my
okay.
husband has a coach through them. We went to our very first real estate summit in March of 2023.
Hmm.
And within 10 months, we had over 700 doors. And
Wow.
what
Oh,
that
wow.
meant was we partnered with people that we met within that space through the networking that had already been doing this.
Okay.
Before we went to the event, my husband and I are like, we know contractors, we know lawyers, we know bankers, we know brokers, we know all kinds of people. Insurance, we can take this down by ourselves. We'll have our own team. But we
Hmm.
realized in that short weekend that no, that's not the smart way to do it. You have to do this in a team approach. You have to follow the regulations of the SEC with syndications because I didn't even know about that. My
Hmm.
husband wrote a goal on our whiteboard and it said $40 million assets under management. And I'm thinking like single family homes, you got to put 20% down. I'm like, where are we going to be able to find that kind of money to do that?
Right.
It's going to take a long time before we can. But then when I realized that everyday people like the three of us and everyone listening, you can invest in multifamily. This
Hmm.
wasn't a thing many decades ago. It's a more
Yeah.
recent thing. And everyday people can invest into a business because that's what investing in multifamily is to become successful and help build generational wealth.
Okay.
So we met people in the room. We partnered with some there. We partnered with some outside of that. And we are limited partners, which means just the money behind the deal. We don't actively manage it. And we're also general partners, which means we actively manage the property. My husband's on a call right now with the other GPs talking about one of our assets. And then we also are key principals on one of the deals. And what that means is we are the guarantors behind the loan that we can show our net worth to help sign and be able to be on that. So
Nice.
it was a crazy and fantastic journey. We just closed on two more this summer. So we're almost at 1,000 doors. So very proud of what our portfolio diversification has become just in a very short period of time.
And that is a short period of time, and it's not something some everyday people that jump into the real estate space accomplish. So that's a big accomplishment for you and your husband. With that being said, what would you tell somebody that was getting into this market and wanted to follow in your footsteps? What would be the things that you would actually tell them to actually do in a process?
Yeah. So first thing you have to invest in yourself. You have to find the right resources to be able to learn exactly what it is that you need to know about whatever asset class you're going to invest in or what investment strategy. With multifamily, it truly is scale. We closed on 23 single family homes in 17 transactions, but we've closed on almost 1,000 doors in 5 transactions.
Mm,
And it's actually easier to manage bigger properties. It sounds totally insane, but you have to think of occupancy. So with a duplex, you've got two tenants. If one moves out, you're automatically at 50% occupied. And if the other one moves out, you're at 0%. There is no money coming in.
Right.
Isn't that the
But with
truth?
multifamily, if you have 100 doors, you're going to have 2 to 3 people moving out at any time, even 5 at any given time. That's 95% occupancy or
Right.
90%. So
Yeah.
when we underwrite deals, we typically underwrite them at 90% occupancy because you expect to have 10% vacancy at any given time. So it really helps to structure that. And anyone can do this. If I can do it working full time, Cynthia, you're retired from medicine and you can do this. It's really amazing what we can do just with the knowledge that we have. So learn and invest in yourself, and you need to find the right partners, especially in multifamily, but you cannot do this on your own. I mean, Cynthia, you could buy a house in Detroit sight unseen for $6,001 and then go in there and take down everything by yourself or whatever, but it would take you forever and you don't
Yeah.
have the knowledge and experience. So for us, we've invested a lot of money in our training through the Grant Cardone program and everything else. People will probably be shocked at the price tag for that, but it is worth every penny and then some because we're learning from all previous mistakes for people that have been doing this for decades.
Right.
I wouldn't know about how to manage an apartment complex correctly and how to underwrite it to make sure that I've budgeted for all these stressful things that could happen to the property or hurricanes or whatever it might be. So it's really, really important to invest in yourself and find the right partners. And anyone can do that because guess what? We all have access to the internet. People that are
Yes.
very wealthy have access to it. The people that aren't so wealthy, we don't have as much
Right.
as they do, but we have access to the same amount of information. And it's really what you do with it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
And,
that's
and
important because don't go to the programs and not do anything with it and waste the money.
Correct.
Gathering
okay,
the
Correct.
knowledge doesn't do you any good.
okay.
You got to take
I'm
Now,
going to
action.
add
yeah,
something. I'm going to add. You got to be cautious also with what program you go into.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because I went $90,000 under. No deal into a very expensive program. Well, they're closing right now, but I don't know if they made their mind if they're closing because they're still in your email trying to teach you, trying to make money, right? So that is, and I don't recommend anyone to this particular program. So where you land also,
Yeah.
you need to have caution with.
Yep.
But the other thing is back there when you guys was beginning to say, your husband say, "Hey, I do this." What was your why? What was your why? Was it
The why for us is we have wonderful kids and we really want to be able to provide for them, but also for us that we can hit that financial freedom. My husband retired from law
that's it?
enforcement a few years ago. I still love my job and love what I do. I'm not ready to get out of healthcare yet. Insurance makes me want to, but everything else I absolutely love within healthcare, but I'm not ready to leave yet. But
okay,
when I do, I want to make sure that we can live comfortably and live the lifestyle and travel and do what we want to do and live off of our passive income. And
That's
there's
it.
so many things within real estate specifically that the general public just doesn't know about. If you look at wealthy individuals, about 95% of them gain their wealth through investing in real estate.
right.
But if you look at the general population, how much invests in real estate? 5%.
Mm,
You don't need to start all over and invent something new. Do what the wealthy do. They invest in real estate. There's so many tax strategies and benefits for that, things that are absolutely insane that you wouldn't even know about until you're in this space, that it's absolutely fantastic. So for us, real estate helps us to get there in a very safe and secure way. With investing in the stock market, it goes up and down, right? My 401k over the years has taken some drastic hits. I've since
Yes.
moved stuff out of my retirement account so it's self-directed so I can invest where I choose to. But you probably don't have a great relationship with your financial advisor or stockbroker or anyone that helps you, right? But you can with your real estate
yeah.
agent, or you can with your general partner if you're doing a syndication. And then the best thing about real estate, you can touch it, right? This
Right,
is our
right.
house. I can touch it. The
Mhm.
investment, I have opportunities. I have family and friends that have invested. We go to look at one of the apartment complexes, and she just went and touched the brick and took a picture of it. I was like, there
Mm.
you go, you're touching your investment. Then we looked on our phone, two bricks over, I guess a kid had drawn a dollar sign with a pencil. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is so crazy. You just took a picture of the side of the apartment complex and there's graffiti. It's in pencil, but it's a dollar sign. I was like, that's literally your family's future right here and what you
Yeah.
invested in.
Ooh,
And you
that's
can
Wow.
nice.
drive
That's
by it and
powerful.
it is, and it appreciates in value over time,
Right.
especially in large successful markets. So here in the Dallas area, real estate values have just gone up. It's a great place to live. Jobs are here, a lot of tax benefits and everything. So we definitely have found a great market to be able to be a part of the multifamily
Yeah.
space.
So you
Nice.
and your husband are doing this. Do you guys have certain roles that you guys are responsible for? And what's your role and what's his role? Uh, is it
Well, in
broken
that
out?
Yeah, and so now with multifamily, it really depends on the deal and how we have it structured. Since he has the construction background and contracting over the years, he's a part of the CapEx team, so
Okay.
responsible for all the things that have to be done. Oh, the roof needs to be replaced. Oh, we got to tear up the concrete and put down new for the sidewalk so it's safer. We have to trim some trees. That's on him. I'm a numbers gal. I love underwriting, so for me finance is the team that I'm on, as well as investor relations. So that means if both of you guys had invested with me, but other investors too, we produce a monthly newsletter, do different things like that. So every deal that we have, we sign up for different things that we feel passionate about, kind of our superpower.
Okay. And how are you guys sourcing deals now?
So now for multifamily, we have such great relationships with brokers here in the Dallas Fort Worth area. If they have let's say an apartment complex that's coming online, they know to give us a call to see if we're
Nice.
interested, just
Mhm.
because they know that we can close the deal, that we're good owners, we give back to the community. So reputation really has a lot to do with being successful in this space, in real
Yeah.
estate in general, but definitely in multifamily, because
Yeah.
multifamily is different.
Yeah.
There's one broker. There's not a
Yeah.
broker representing both sides. There's just one. So they have the interest of their seller at heart, but they also want to make sure that the deal closes and it's a good buyer that's coming into place. So,
Yeah, relationships is people don't understand real estate is a relationship business
oh
and
yeah,
you could destroy your name real quick with just doing one bad deal, doing
yep,
one thing that's not acceptable in the market and now your name is ruined because it spreads like
yep,
wildflower.
yeah, and that's why we are really um, obsessed with
Mhm.
having great partners. So the
Okay.
people that we partner with are great humans in general. Every time we buy an apartment complex, we do investor impact days. So we all wear matching red shirts that says investor on the back, and we
Oh,
go and we clean up the community. We've had one property for a year and a half now, and we've given turkeys out at Thanksgiving.
oh.
Back at
Nice.
the end of the school year, we did a soccer clinic for the kids and
Hmm.
just had, soccer and everything. And we grilled out hot dogs and hamburgers. We had a local church that approached us and asked if they could do some ministry work there and asked if
Nice.
they could, if we could maybe convert one of it's now a storage room and we wanted to empty everything out. It was the clubhouse by the pool that they could help to provide daycare. So these
Oh,
kids, instead of being latchkey kids to go home and be alone in the apartment, that this church could help to provide some daycare services and do
That
that.
is
So
awesome.
it's really nice to be able to give back to the community because, bottom line, we all want to make money off of these deals. That's why we're
right.
investing, but we are investing in the communities and we're giving back. And that's
Hmm.
important to us. Now,
Hmm.
other partnerships, not so much. It is all about the numbers. We want to make the max amount. This is what we're going to do. It really truly is the people that you invest with. So you want to be aligned and yeah, we want to make our investors happy. We want to make money, but we also want to give back to the community and make sure everyone is proud of where they live.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's
Yeah,
nice.
that's an awesome thing
Yeah.
that you guys are doing that, and it also helped push your name out for other people to actually get to know you guys. And once people get to know
Yes.
you, it actually helps to push more deals your way too. So
Yes.
the relationship that you're building in the community actually helps you find more deals, whether you think about it or not. It actually does do that. So it's a
Mhm.
great thing that you guys are doing. I'm glad you guys are doing that and cleaning up some of the properties that you guys can run across and give people a more solid place to live and more comfortable place to live. That's actually helping the community tremendously. So
Yes.
So,
kudos for you guys for doing that.
Oh yeah,
so
we're happy to do it too. And one of the benefits that we didn't realize would happen because of this is we have really happy tenants and
Mm,
they're recommending to their family and friends. So we give referral bonuses if they have somebody come and rent and everything. But we're able to fill the units because people love where they live and they see the family values and the community that we serve. And one of the properties, there's two different courtyard areas. So every day after school, you'll find kids playing there and they're playing soccer, or if it's warm outside, they're swimming in the pool. So it's really nice, that families can feel comfortable living in their
mm.
home in these
So,
apartments.
so if you had to start all over again, where would you start? Would you start with the single families or would you start with multifamily?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. The amount of scale and everything, I think, is more beneficial with multifamily and a lot of the tax strategies.
Mm,
And given our age and where we are in life, I'd say yes. But there are some 19-year-olds and 20-year-olds that are getting into this space, and I'm envious of them for starting so young, which I
mm,
commend them for that. Um, I really value what we learned in the fix and flip world, though. Coming
okay.
from healthcare and law enforcement, we wouldn't be as knowledgeable with real estate. So I think that gave us a great learning platform for it. It doesn't mean that you can't learn that while you're doing multifamily. So I don't know. That's a great question. I haven't been asked that one before on a podcast, but I the scale of it is so much better. Like you can get to places that way. But I do believe in diversification in our portfolio. Still going to keep these single family homes as long-term rentals, and we're still going to have multifamily. So I think that's important to have the diversification
mhm.
there. So,
Can I comment? I remember a couple of weeks back, Donald. Matter of fact, it was about when we first started, and I was saying I was watching the platform. I was on the Zoom with JJ Azizia, and
mhm,
he stated he had a Mark. Uh, I can't pronounce his last name. Abavicia. He's a hard money lender slash private lender,
Mm,
and he stated to also come into this business first time, or you've been here for a while and you're just not moving, is you need three things. And he started off with credit, good credit, because good credit on an average can lead you to supportive money. But after you get the supportive money, what do you need? And she started off with the number one thing I think that you need, and that is invest in yourself and
mm,
then get yourself up under the umbrella of a good mentor system. Because the
yeah,
good mentor system can get you to the good money, right? And then and give you the mindset of where you need to be, and also restructure you to have good credit or at least counsel you to it. And then the third thing that he said was talent to get the work done. So you need to be able to have some kind of knowledge that what is being done in the kitchen as you remodel it is the right thing. Because I think all of us here can say when we have rehabbed, well, I don't know, Natasha could say it, but I have had plenty of general contractors come up and then expand a job that they're doing unnecessarily. And okay, you now what I learned from the mentorship I was in, here's your here's your tally sheet. Write it up what you feel needs to be done, and the material. It's all on there, the material and the cost. And then while he's doing that, give it back to me later on the day or tomorrow, another general contractor is coming behind him. That's what I had learned to do independently, because I just hadn't, that was in Detroit, and I just hadn't developed that relationship with that reliable general contractor, that honest, respectful general contractor. So those were the three things that I would start off with mentorship. invest in yourself. You need to have a fairly decent credit. The platform I was on was saying you don't need to have good credit. The heck if you don't. You kind of do, unless you have some private lenders. You got people behind you or up under you that could lift you up, that have money and a trustworthy relationship with you. And then you need to be able to have the skill set to support what you want to do.
So I'd like
Okay.
to interject the comment that you made about credit. So if you invest in multifamily, you can have the worst credit in the world. They don't look at you. They're looking at the property and how it performs because it's a business. So if your net operating income, your NOI is healthy, you're managing everything, there's projected growth that can happen with rent, other income, you can reduce expenses. That's what the bank is looking at. So you could have the world's worst credit. So if somebody wants to get involved in multifamily, they could have horrible credit and it wouldn't even matter because they're looking at the property, not you as a person.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
All right.
So
That was good.
yeah. So now that you guys are where you are, who's because contractors, going back to what Cynthia said, contractors are your worst enemies
Whoa,
in this
whoa, whoa, whoa,
whole
whoa, whoa,
industry.
whoa, 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 whoa. I didn't say your worst enemy. You
They
need that.
can be.
You can be. You can have one that just tank your
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they can make or break your deal. And
Yeah.
that's why I said they can be your
And
worst
that's
enemy.
where,
So what have you
but
guys
that's where
done
having
to
knowledge,
yeah,
Yeah.
what
you
what
really have
have
to
you
be
guys done
knowledgeable
to
of it.
actually overcome that hurdle with contractors? I know I just had to let a contractor go yesterday on a rehab that I have going on. So what do you guys do in to combat that?
Documentation, a proper
Mm,
vetting and interview process to make
mm,
sure, ask for recommendations and call them and ask
okay.
if there anything, oh, I love them. They were great and everything. Okay, there has to name the three least favorite things that you had during the process. Because
That's
there's going to
it.
be something that may not be whatever it is. So then that's just like a partner or anything. So you just need to make sure that you vet who they are. And as women, because I know one of the things that you wanted to highlight during this podcast is as women, this may not be a very women dominated space in real estate, number one, but especially with contractors too. But I've met some very successful female contractors that run businesses that know construction inside and out. So learn and ask questions. And there are a lot of mentoring programs or even real estate meetups that might be in your community that you can just ask to tag along. Have a contractor walk a property
Oh,
and say, can I walk it with you? Tell me what
yeah.
you see. Oh, what does this crack mean? Oh, the foundation looks bad. Oh, that's cosmetic. It's not structural. You can learn different things. YouTube has so many fantastic videos. Again, this goes back to what I said earlier, is that we all have access to the same amount of knowledge and learning. Go to YouTube. You can watch a video of how to replace a toilet. You can watch a video on how to replace an electrical panel. Some of the things you can hire the skilled laborers, right? The plumber and the electrician, but you can watch it and see and learn and look up average costs. You can go to Angie's List and ask for average costs for things. Houzz, Houzz, is an online platform that you can look for, pricing within your zip code. How much will it cost to replace a roof on a 2,000 square foot house in this zip code? And it'll give you a range. That way, when a roofing company comes and says, oh, it'll be $25,000, you're like, bye-bye. You
Right,
know
right.
that it's not accurate.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
again, it's investing in yourself and the knowledge, but you really have to vet your partners, and your contractors are your partners. And if you are successful in what you do, and you're successful in helping others learn about investing in real estate, your contractor should be an investor alongside with you. If they're a good one, they're probably making decent money. They're probably paying way too much in self-employment taxes. How about they put it into a property so they can reduce their tax burden?
Nice.
Have your plumber, have your electrician. They can be investors with you. And then in some of our Class A properties, which means the newer build, the higher end apartment complexes, the tenants that live there, they make decent money. We're asking them if they want to invest in the property that they're living in.
Ooh,
And then
Some of
even
the
if they move
private
out, they
ones.
could still be investors there. So you never
ooh,
know.
Nice.
that's
You could
that's
really,
that's a
yeah,
good one. That's a good
it
one.
is. You never know.
Yeah.
Anyone can be an investor. You know, you're in line at Walmart, you're in line at Starbucks, I'm on an airplane, whatever it might be. You never know
Right.
who's sitting next to you and who might be a potential investor.
Yeah.
Nice.
Never thought
Nice.
about that one. That's
That's
a
Oh,
good
yeah.
one. That
That's
that
that's some
really
what,
is good.
RP.
and
That's some RPM.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think what really, I think
Three
what's,
feet.
yeah, I think what really is exciting is, you know, in healthcare as a physical therapist, I have to use my clinical skills, but I also have to be creative. How am I going to connect with this patient to get them to want to make themselves be better, help their bodies heal? You know,
Mhm.
you have to connect with the person, so you have to make connections. You want to help people, and you need to be creative. That's the same thing with investing in real estate. You use those same skills. So for women that are out there that they might be moms, they might be wives, they might not even be employed right now. That's fine. You have
Mm.
all of those skills dealing with your kids, teachers, coaches, going, making your list, being organized, going to the grocery store, budgeting. You have those skills. It's just converting them into a different way.
Mm. So, speaking of single moms, what would you say to a single mom who's struggling trying to keep up with her child, working a 9 to 5, and she's interested in starting this path, but she just don't see how she can actually go about starting this path with her child and work?
So, yeah. So I'm a married mom, so I can't
Yeah.
speak personally to the single mom, but I have known some very successful women that are single mothers. For me, my kids are older now, but when they were younger, that takes a lot of time. But you can listen to a podcast like this while you're
Mm,
driving after dropping the kids off at school or to and from the grocery store. When my job finishes at 5 o'clock every day, what do you think I'm doing after that? I'm
mm,
helping to make dinner, but I'm learning and listening. And so you can do that with modern technology. You can learn and listen at any time. And then
mm,
weekends, when I didn't know anything about multifamily, there was a lady that I met at one of the real estate events, and she's a retired CPA, and she would underwrite deals every Saturday at 11 Central Time.
mm,
I would get on Zoom and I would spend 2 hours underwriting deals because she would just share her screen and she would explain everything. I did that for months on end because I wanted to understand the ins and outs and everything. What does it mean if we raise rent $50? What does it mean if we can reduce expenses by this? What can we do with it? It really helped to analyze the deals and know how the potential that could be there within the apartment complexes. So for a single mom, you have to prioritize yourself and your family and the goals that you want to have. If you want to get into real estate investing, invest in yourself. You don't have to go out and spend thousands of dollars on a mentorship. Go to a meetup once a month. Go ahead and join a platform, something that's after hours. Or if the kids are in school, while they're in school, if you're not working or if you are after or during your break, there's always times in the day. You don't have to binge watch your favorite show on Netflix. You can
right, right.
actually invest in yourself and do something different. That's hard sometimes because
Yeah.
being a mother is extremely stressful. Being a single mother is even more so, but you can really prioritize yourself. And during this process, I was fortunate enough to be approached by a female successful entrepreneur, and she asked me to co-author a book. It's called Real Women in Real Estate, and I have
Yeah,
other
I was
women that
getting there.
I was able to do that. But I just, when you say single mothers, there are some ladies that I co-authored this book with that their stories are crazy. What they went through, what they survived, and how they became successful. It's basically just the determination. You'll find
Mm,
a way. You will
mm.
find a way and make it work.
So you brought it up. I was gonna get your book, because you co-authored a couple of books.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about those books and how somebody can actually find those books.
Yeah, so I have it right here because I figured we'd be talking about it. It's called Real Women in Real Estate. And this is volume two. So they actually did a volume one and they asked me to be a part of it because they heard my story. They're like, wow, you're working full time, you're doing this. You went from like no doors to almost 700 doors in this short period of time. We would love for you to do that. So on the back, these are all of the ladies that I was able to
Oh, nice.
co-author the book with. So all of us have different stories and it's about our real estate journey. This one, my chapter is called Fear Factor, Overcoming Fear to Enjoy Success. And I just go over general tips that, you need to have no emotions. When you're in real estate, I mean, there are so many deals that I love the deal. Oh my God, I loved it. I loved it. But the numbers didn't work. You got to walk away from it, right? You need to invest in yourself, your education and partnerships. You need to take massive action. So, Donald, like you said, you can go to any summit, any real estate event that you want to, but you have got to do something about it. Just having the knowledge isn't enough. You've got to act on it.
Right.
So, Real Women in Real Estate, you can see, oh, this is backwards here. Best-selling author on Amazon. We were able to be best-selling in women, entrepreneurs, and real estate when it first
Awesome.
launched. So
Awesome.
we were number one for a while there. Yes. And the cool thing about this, first of all, was writing a book. Never thought that I'd be writing a book. If I did, I would think it would be about physical therapy or healthcare, not
Mhm.
real estate. But it was really cool to do this. And then after we launched our book, we actually had a meetup here in Dallas. We were on stage and interviewed. And so we were able to get some FaceTime on camera to be able to do that. And then after volume 2, they asked me to come back for volume 3. So same
Oh,
thing,
wow.
project, there's several repeat authors. And Cynthia, for you, there's a couple of doctors that have been authors and nurses. So this last one, I think it's about 6 of us are in healthcare. So it's really cool how it seems that people that are in the medical profession field have found real estate as an investing platform to be successful. So these, you can find them on Amazon, but it's Real Women in Real Estate, or an easy way to find it, you can go into Amazon and you type my name and it pops up the 2 books, which is crazy because who would ever think that on Amazon, where we're buying everything day and day, you can type my own name in and it appears
Yeah,
the book.
yeah.
So yeah,
And
so
it's exciting because when I first did it and my books came up under my name, I was like, wow. So yeah,
yeah.
that's exciting.
Yeah,
So
so these are
yeah,
the books, The Real Women in Real Estate, and
yeah.
just very, very excited that I was a part of this project and met some
Awesome.
amazing
I'm
women
gonna
from
grab me
all
some
over the
copies of
world.
those as well.
Yes, yes. Yeah, but it's
Congratulations.
absolutely fantastic. So,
Yes.
yeah,
So
really
so
love
you
it.
also are a lender. Am I correct? Or do you
Yes.
invest in other people's deals or
Oh,
tell us
yeah.
about that?
Yeah, diversification. So I am a private money lender. I have met people through the RPM community that you mentioned
Yeah.
earlier, that have different deals. They're doing fix and flips, they're doing short-term rentals, whatever it is. So I lend.
Mm,
So I want to practice what I preach. I raise money for deals, but I want to invest too because I want my money to work for me. So with fix and flips, that's a bigger chunk of money in a short period of time. It's a lot of work, but we're kind of out of that space anymore. But I don't mind lending money so I can be the bank. And that's
mm,
actually the title of the second one that I did. This is
okay.
volume 3. The chapter that I have is called Be the Bank. And it's just basically letting the readers know what we know is that you probably have money sitting around that you didn't know about. Most people go directly to their checking account or savings account. That's not where you look. You look in your retirement account. That's where you can turn it into a self-directed retirement account and invest in deals. So,
Mm,
yeah, I've been doing that for several years now. So
okay.
excited to have money work for me.
And if somebody wanted to reach out to you and pitch a deal to you, how do they go about contacting you in regards to that?
Yeah, so um, you can find me on Instagram. The easiest way to find me is actually through my other business. I make small batch trail mix, and this is it right here. Oop, can't get it in
Oh,
the middle of this, but it's Nomics. So
okay.
at GNAWMIX, so at Nomics. So you can reach me that way. Or you can email me. If you want to email me, my business email for real estate investing is HR, like human resources, at
Mm,
pmhomesllc.com. So that's Peak Market Homes is the name of our company. So pmhomesllc.com. So
okay.
HR
And
at
we'll put it in the notes
pmhomesllc.com.
too for people too.
Yes, yes. But yeah, so I started a small batch trail mix company before I turned 50. It was a goal of mine, wanted to show my girls that it doesn't matter your age, you can do anything you want to, but I make trail mix that helps keep the hangries away when I would work with patients in the hospital. And
Okay.
everyone loved it so much, I decided to go into business. So I sell it at small markets and online. So
Oh,
another
wow.
way of being an entrepreneur and sharing something with your community and beyond. So,
So what's next for you? What's in your near future?
so more private money lending, always private money lending, I guess. And then we have a couple of deals that were best and final in Houston, and another one that we put an offer in here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So definitely want to be over 1,000 doors. Love being on podcasts, would love to be on more, and am thinking about another book, but this time on my own, not with other ladies, just to be a solo author. So definitely looking into doing that, because writing came really easy to me. I didn't know that I had that skill and talent, but sharing stories, really, I think it makes things relatable. So women that want to read this book, if they want to reach out to me, definitely open to any conversations, because if we can be successful, you can too. And the best way to do that is by taking action. So.
So if somebody has a deal, and what market would you look at those deals at? What markets are you currently investing in?
So for multifamily, pretty much everything that we have here is in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We have one in San Antonio, 2 that we're invested in final are in Houston. We are looking to possibly get into the Florida market. As far as our single family homes, we're selling off our last one that we have in Missouri. So if anyone wants a property in St. Louis, it's vacant right now, it's ready to go. So price to sell. And then Georgia for those. But for multifamily, definitely staying within Texas and Florida, because those are the best markets to be in.
Okay. So I want to thank you for your time. I want to be give you kudos for all you've done. You've created a lot.
Thank you.
And I can ask you 1,000,001 more questions, because each time you say something, you open up another door for some more questions. And I just don't want to take up all your time today. I think what you're doing is great. And those of you all who have questions and want to talk to her more, reach out to her and ask whatever you can ask. And are you doing any kind of mentoring or anything for anybody right now, or you got any?
It's so funny that you mentioned that. So since being in the multifamily space, I really found that one of my superpowers is underwriting. But I love the numbers and everything, but more importantly is teaching the underwriting. So I've actually spoken to a couple of people, and just naturally after a call, let's say a call after this, that Donald, you're like, hey, Natasha, can I talk to you offline? Sure, I'd give you my phone number and we would talk. And they're like, hey, do you mind if I bring a deal to you and we can analyze it together? What I do in my current role as a physical therapist, I do travel the country and I train staff. That's what I do. So I'm an educator. And so I really realized it took, doing all these different things. It's like, maybe this is something that I could grow and expand, that I could have my own teaching program for this. So it's definitely a bug that's been planted and it's kind of brewing up there. I do a lot of things. So if I do that, something's got to give. And so does that financially meet the needs that I can leave my current role sooner rather than later at the time frame that I have in my mind? As we grow our portfolio even more and we have that passive income, would that then allow me to have that freedom, not just financially, but in time, to be able to do things like that to help educate?
Oh, that's great. That's great. And again, those of you all who wants to follow her, she's all your social media platforms and how everybody can get in touch with you. If you mind sharing that again so everybody can have it.
Yeah, do you want me to put it in the chat?
Yes, you can put it in the chat also. But we're going to put it in the show notes as well. So yeah, but if you just wanted to give it verbally, that's also a good way too. But
yeah, so Instagram is just Nomics. Yeah. So that's what I have there. And then in the books, we have like our QR codes at the end of each of our chapters, because there are other ladies you might connect with that are in the book. And that's what we have. I have my Linktree QR code that has all my socials, emails, all of that kind of stuff too. So yeah. So if you get the book, you have all that way.
So you already in touch with you.
Yeah. And I put that in there, Donald, so you can see it in the chat as well and add it to the meeting notes.
Okay.
I want to say, Natasha, I think you are, and just your presentation on will hit the public. The YouTube is going to be inspirational, inspiring, and it's a joy to hear, right? It's just to see the possibility. But I think one of the things,
absolutely,
in something you said, it was that mindset and that overcoming the fear, and let's just do it, and making efforts to do it correctly. Key, very key, very key. Yes, I'm gonna connect with you. I'm gonna connect with you.
Oh, good. Yes, and with the book too, it is on Audible. So for people like single moms that may not have the time to read it, that they can listen. We each narrated our own chapters. So you can actually hear us reading our own chapters in our own voices. So lots of lovely ladies through this project. And we actually went on a little retreat this summer to Puerto Rico. A group of us went because we wanted to spend more time networking and just inspiring and lifting each other up. So we did that.
I need a niche like that.
Well, seeing your background, Cynthia, made me think of it because, we were there on the beach, we went snorkeling, did all that kind of fun stuff.
Yes.
Well, thank you again. And I look forward to seeing what you have in the near future and seeing what's next for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And go ahead.
Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so we can bring more like this to you. Golden.
Yes. Thank you.
If you want to hear more stories and tips about real estate, foreclosure, and private lending insights, hit like and subscribe now.